A warm welcome to the session 3. So in first class, we have learned about the introduction to R programming. And in yesterday's class, we have learned about the variables and we have learned about different operators, logical operators, what we have and like how we are going to use them in our R programming. Yes, friends. And we also learned about like how these logical operators means different operators what we have learned about them. So in today's class, let's have a short recap of what we have learned in yesterday's class, that is the variables. So when you're talking about a variable, we all know that the variable is a point which keeps on changing. Okay, so that is what we call it as a variable. And how those variables, we have a set of protocols which we need to follow when we are defining the variables. Okay, that's what we have seen yesterday. Like, let us say, for example, a variable name cannot be defined using a number in a starting. Means like when a constant number like 2, you can see 2 variable name, this is not valid. Okay, the same time, if you're using some dot and also started with a numerical value and the variable name, so that is also invalid. Okay, and when if you're starting the variable name with some underscore, so this is also not going to work. So there are set of some rules which has to be followed when we are like declaring this variables. Okay, so if the variable is not defined in such particular format, so it's going to throw us the error. You can see here itself. It is showing us the error here itself. Right, friends? And now, yesterday we have seen how the variable can be assigned. And apart from that, we have seen like how we will be like what are the different operators what we have. So friends, when you're talking about the operators, we have different assignments. We have different operators like arithmetic operators. Okay, assignment operators, logical operators. So what are the different arithmetic operators here? We have like addition. So when we want to add two variables, like variables x and y. Okay, so how to add them? So all these things we have seen in yesterday's class. And coming to the logical operators we have seen whether when we're adding two variables, whether it's going to give us in terms of true or false, right? So that's also we have seen yesterday. And we also have the complex operators, which is having the real part and the integer part. And coming to the data types, friends, yesterday we have discussed about the data types also. In the data types, we all know that we have 4 different types of data types of numeric, character, and the complex data types. Okay, and also we have like these kinds of data types we have discussed yesterday. And how this is going to influence your the data. We have seen all these things yesterday. Okay, so like numeric, strings, and factors. Fine. And we have seen like when you're assigning some value, when you're assigning a value to some variable, so that will be counted as an object. Okay, and the equal to will be called as an assignment operator. So that's all we have discussed in yesterday's class. That's fine. And now, coming to today's class, friends. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about vectors. So friends, what do you mean by vectors? In general sense, any idea? Anyone? You can give a live chat here if you have any answers. Okay, fine. Let me tell you. So when you're talking about the vectors here, so vector is a kind of like, we will be using this for string manipulations. So what are strings, friends? So strings are the things which have been which we are using it when we are inserting in the double inverted or single inverted commas. That's what we have seen yesterday. And friends, a question for you. Can we use triple inverted commas for defining a string? Is it possible? Can we use a triple inverted commas? No. That's going to throw us the error. Right, friends? And coming to the vectors. we'll be using these vectors for string manipulation, for data analysis. Okay. And basically, these vectors, we can call it as a single dimensional arrays. Fine, friends. And these vectors are capable of holding only a single data type. Okay, whether it can be a numeric data type, whether it can be a string data type, but it is capable of holding only a single type of data type. Means only one type of a data type, not more than that. Got it, friends? So we need to see how a data is getting actually stored. So if you want to know how the data is getting actually stored, so that comes under the data structure, and how the data, if you're talking about the data structure and all, and how is the structure of the data, or else if you're talking in terms of collection of data, data points, if you're talking about the collection of data points, so we can call it in terms of an array. Okay, so this complete vector will be counted as a single dimension array, and how we arrange this array is very, very important, friends. Okay, so whether we are going, okay, let me write it here. So friends, when you're talking about this vectors, okay, so vectors, it is, you can call it as a single dimensional array, and it is capable of storing a single data type. Got it, friends? And one more point is it's capable of storing single data type. Okay. And if you're talking about this, these vectors are used for string manipulations, and the vectors can also be used for data analysis works. Okay, so sometimes we need to do some string manipulations when you're going deeper into a data analysis. So at that moment, this vectors comes into pictures. So friends, I'll ask you a simple question. What is the literal meaning of a vector? You might have studied in physics, or maybe in maybe mathematics. What is the literal meaning of vector? Any idea, friends? Okay, let me tell you. So we'll be having a scalar quantities and vector quantities. Have you ever heard about that? So scalar is different. So when we are coming to the vector, so vector is a quantity which is holding a direction, which is having some direction, and which is having a dimensions. Okay, so when you're talking about this vector, which is having a direction along with the magnitude, we call it as a vector, and this is a single dimension, friends. And this can hold only a data type of one kind. Means whether you're going with a numeric, so all the means like when you're declaring a vector, all the elements inside this vector means in the array should be of a same type. Whether it should be a numeric, or else it can be completely a character, or it can be a complex numbers. Got it, friends? Now, so like if you are representing this vector in terms of x-axis and y-axis. Okay, so let us take when we're talking about the coordinate system here, let us say this is y-axis, this is x-axis, and this kind of z-axis which is protruding outside. Okay, so if you're taking about this x-axis, the x-axis can be counted as a vector because it is having a magnitude and it is also having some direction. Okay, friends. And now, and like if you're talking about these vectors, let's look deeper into this. Let me erase this. Okay. So friends, this is about the integers, what we have seen in yesterday's class and how these strings. Okay. Now let's start with the strings, friends. So when you're talking about the string, so we have declared string s is equal to 360 digit mg. Okay. So when I'm going to run this, I was going to take it, and when I say class of s, so what is the class of x? It is a character. Okay, friends, because this is counting as a string. And now, if I want to do any manipulation on these strings, okay, so first of all, what I will do here is I'm assigning the value of a with a character of hello. Okay, now run this, and b is how, and c is are you. Okay, so a is hello, b is how, and c is are you. Now when I say paste a comma b and separator is equal to, I'm not giving any space. It is just a double inverted commas. So I just want a and b to be pasted together and with no spacing. And let's see what happens when I'm going to execute this. You can see hello and how are getting typed, but there is no space in between hello and how. Got it, friends? Why? Because we haven't given any space in between here. So let us say if I'm going to give some space and if I'm going to execute this, now you can see there is some space in between hello and how. In similar lines, when I'm going to say print, paste a comma b comma c. Now what happens? Okay, and here I'm not giving any special function. I'm not going to manipulate the string here. So straight away I'm asking it to print it for a comma b comma c. Now let's see what happens, friends. So when I'm giving it hello or like a comma b comma c, straight away going to print with the spaces in between like hello, how are you? Got it, friends? And in similar lines, friends, when we're talking about these vectors, okay, so these vectors are basically used for the data manipulation and also for the data analysis and for string manipulations. Okay, friends. So when you're talking about this string manipulations here, so I have given here V, and C is a very common form of how we define, means like this is a very common form for writing the vectors. Okay, so we have to write C. We have given, we have the vector, the variable what we are taking in terms of V, and C is a very common form how we are going to define the vector. And inside this we are given in terms of A, B, A, C, D, D, A, E, A and B. Okay, and now when I execute this, okay, it's taking in that, and I'm asking it to find the factors of F. Let's see. So the factor is, yeah, here also I've given A, B, A, C, D, D, A, E, B. And now when I say F. So friends, what I've given here, that is A, B, C and D, D. So everything is getting printed here. But when I say F, so the levels are A, B, C, D, E. If you can see, if I don't want any repetitions there, and if I want to see the levels, means what are the numbers which are without the repeated values, it's just giving me A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. And now when I say string of F, so now it's telling me what are the levels we have A, B, C, D, and so on, and how many times it's getting repeated. So friends, so like this is how we are we are going to manipulate the strings. And now let's talk about the vectors where we are going with the single data type. Okay. So here I'm giving the x is equal to 1:10. So here we are going with the sequential data. So what is a sequential data? So sequential data means it is getting generated. The data which is being generated means like one by one in a complete sequence. Okay. Now let's say here I'm given x pointed towards 1:10, and when I try to execute this, so it's taking this, and when I say x, and now you can see here the numbers right from 1 to 10 are being generated. So it is kind of a sequence, it's getting generated. So starting from the value of 1 towards 10. Okay, so these vectors are capable of generate, means like when we are talking here, so it is completely a sequential data. We are generating a sequential. So why should means if we want our this data to be completely in series, means like in a sequential form. So for that, we'll be using this is to in between, means the column in between, from which value to which value you want to generate the numbers. So instead of 5, if I give, instead of 1, if I give 5, and if I just initiate this, and if I execute this, you can see the numbers will be generated from 5 to 10. So this is in a sequential manner. Okay, friends. And now, and yes, so this is going a set of random numbers combined to form a vector. So here we are having a set of combined numbers, which is, let us say, it is taking as a temporary number. We have like 38, 32, 34, 38, and 40. Okay, so it is in the random form. So when I execute this, okay, and when I'm asking the class of this temporary file which has been taken, so here it is taking, it is giving us the value of, it's quite obvious. It is in the numeric form because we don't have any double inverted commas here. So it's quite obvious it is a numeric form. And the type of the temp, okay. The type of the temp, it is double. And when I say temp, you can see it's completely the numbers from 38, means it is it's printing me the same numbers. Okay. But if I want like to go, means if I want that to be in the form of a vector form. So what I'm doing, what am I going to do here is, I'm taking from 10 to 20, run this, okay, and the type is integer and the class is A. So it is an integer, okay. And when I say A, sorry, when I say A, it's going to give me the numbers right from 10 to 20, friends. And now here, here also, we can generate as much, it's like we can generate as per our wish. Okay, here I'm giving 1.1 and with the step of 0.1, the difference. Okay, so I'm giving 1.1 to 10.1. See, likewise, we can generate the sequence in any form. And with the interval, it completely depends upon us. Okay, so here I'm going with 1.1 to 10.1. And when I say A, and if I'm going to run this, so in the period of interval of 0, means like 1.1, 2.1, likewise, the step of 1, 1 each, the difference between the interval between each 1.1 to 2.1 is 1 step. So it's going till 10.1. Now, friends, this is also a kind of vector. Okay, so this is also a vector. And here, if you can observe, friends, here we have a complete whole. The 10 is a whole number, 114, and 5, 356, and 9.4. And if you can observe here, for the vectors also, we'll be having indexing. Just like when you're dealing in the Python where we have the indexing, here in the vectors also, we'll be having the index. We'll be marking each and every number what we have inside the brackets with some index values. And here what am I going to do is I'm assigning some values for B. And when I say that if I'm asking it the class of B, so it says it's double because it is having both both the type of like integers what we have there. It is having both the numerical values and also the floating value. So it is a double. And like when it say the class of B, when I'm asking the class of B, it is numeric. And friends, if I'm asking, see, and here we have when you give a question mark and if you ask about C, and this is going to give me the usage, means combines the values in a vectors of a list. So whenever you give a question mark along with, if you're having any doubts in between, and if you want to see help on the function C, so you can go through this, whatever like the help you need, you can look into this help pane. Okay, this help under this help tab, you can see you can get the required help here. Now, here we have a vector which is like A, B, true, and 5. Okay, friends. And here we are like making a list with different data types. And when I'm trying to run this, okay, it's fine. We have taken the values. And if I say V, see, if I haven't given any square brackets. Okay, simply when I said V here, simply when I said V, simply when I've said V, so this is going to print me all the values which are in this vector. Okay, it is a single dimensional vector, that is a single array. So all the values are getting printed. But when I say V in a square bracket of 3, now tell me friends, what is going to print? Any idea? Any guesses, friends? You can give me the answer in the chat. Okay, so let me say, if you're going with the indexes, A will be counted as 1, B as 2, and true as 3, and 5 as 4. Okay. Now let's check what our system gives the answer. So when I'm going to give V and 3 in the square brackets, and then when I'm going to run this, so it's quite obvious. The 3 is getting pointed to the true value and the true is going to get printed. Got it, friends? And here when I say 2 is to 4, in the vector format where I have A, B, true and 5, I want to print in between the 2 and 4. So when I execute this, so the values which are between 2 and 4, that is right from B, true and 5 will be getting printed. Got it, friends? And when I say, that means, see, here like we have taken this as 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I want to print between 2 and 4. So B, true and 5 will get printed here. Now friends, I'm declaring, I want the vector. I'm giving in another format here. So this is another way I'm formatting the string. So vector of C, and inside C, I'm just giving a normal brackets, 1, 3 and 4. So friends, what will be the answer of this? Any guesses? Okay, let me generate the answer, friends. So when you're going with 1, 3 and 4 here, so it is excluding only the 2, that is B. Okay. So excluding means that B will not be printed and A, true and 5 will be getting it as answers. Now friends, I need you to answer this question. I want you to answer this question. So when I'm giving V and in the square brackets, I'm giving as -2. So what will be the answer? Friends, I need an answer for this. It's quite easy, so don't think too much. So if you're comparing this with the Python, like this will be counted as -1. But friends, here it is different in our programming. So when you're talking about 2 means we are going to exempt the 2. The 2 value has to be exempted. So when you're exempting the 2 value, okay, the answer is the same as the previous one. So you'll be getting the answer as A, true and 5. Okay, friends. So whether you are writing like we see 1, 3, and 4, or else if you're writing this in square brackets, you are mentioning as -2. So -2 means we want to exclude the 2. 2 means this value, B value from this entire array, what we have in the vector. So both are the same. For the same, we'll be getting the output as A, true, and 5. So friends, in this way, we can manipulate the given strings. Got it, friends? And now, so friends, here, like we have A as, so here, friends, it's a very common format to write the C here. Okay, so don't when we are defining a vector, so the value of C will be, just want to take the comments. Yes, friends, as Aditya, it is related to data. So we are going with the, means like as of now, we are going with the string manipulations. Class of variable, this is not showing in the class. True. Yes, friends. Now, when you're talking about, yes, here we have the two vectors. A is having 1, 4, and 8. Okay, this is one vector. And A2 is having 11, 15, 1, 20, and 5. So friends, here, if you're talking about the two vectors here, so here we are going with the string manipulation, friends. So just observe here carefully. We have A1 as 1, 4, and 8. And A2 as 11, 15, 1, 20, and 5. So friends, you can observe here carefully. Here we are having only 3 numbers. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, friends. And now I want to add A and A1 and A2. So friends, what will be the answer? Is it possible to add A1 and A2? I just need the answer. Is it possible? Yes or no? In first case, it is possible. We can add. But we have the missing numbers here. We don't have the 2 numbers here. Okay. Then what can be done here if I don't have any numbers in between? So it's quite simple. If I want to add the 2 numbers, the simple way is, okay, let me erase it properly so that I can explain it to you. So first one is, take it as we have this. First take this one, 1, we have 4 and 8. Okay, write it like this. And next I want to add with A2. Okay, so right here 11. The second number is 15, 1, 20, and 5. And top 2 here, the missing values are there, right? Now, how to replace this missing values? So if I want to replace this missing values, so this missing values are replaced with the first number and the second number. Got it, friends? What am I going to do is, I'm going to write it here as 1. And in place of the second missing number, I'm going to write it as 4. Now, when I add this, so 11 plus 1, we all know we are going to get the answer as 12. And 4 plus 15, answer is 19. 8 plus 1, it is 9. 20 plus 1, it is 21. And 5 plus 4, it is 9. So this is the output of the 2 vectors. Got it, friends? Now, what we will do is, just remember this. We are going to execute this. Now, let's initialize them. A1, run this. Okay. A2, initialize that one. Okay. Now, C is A1 plus A2. Okay. See, friends, it's going to give, it's not an error. It's just a warning message. Why it is warning you? It is warning you because the length of the 2 vectors, there's a length of the two objects what you're taking is not equal. It's just a warning symbol, friends. Don't get panic. Fine. Now, when I'm going to execute C here, so this is what is the answer we are getting. 12, 19, 9, 21, and 9. Got it, friends? So this is how we are manipulating the strings. Even though the two strings, what means the two vectors, what we have here is uneven. Even though the strings what we have placed inside that are uneven, still means like the length is not the same, but still we are able to add the two vectors. Got it, friends? So this is how the string manipulation will be done. And in the same way, we can go with the data analysis also. Got it, friends? Now, here we have, okay, let me erase this one. Clear our drawings. Great. Now, friends, we have A2. And let's execute this. And yes, we know that A2 is having 11, 15, 1, 20, and 5. And if I say sort, okay, I want to sort them in where the decreasing is equal to true. Okay, now see what happens. Okay, so when I say decreasing is equal to true means that is going to come in the descending order. Okay, friends. So this is how, whatever may be the string, means whatever may be the string we are placing inside the vector here. And if I say I want that particular vector to be in a descending manner, then I have to go with the decreasing is equal to true. So it's going to get arranged in a decreasing order. So you can see 20, 50, 11, 5, and 1 are being arranged in a decreasing manner. In similar lines, let us say if we are taking another like vector where we are assigning the values of snake, cat, dog, and goat. Okay. First, let's initialize them. So we have initialized. Next, if I say sort n when decreasing is equal to true. So it has to come under in a, means like in a descending manner. So instead of, let us say, if you are having S, and next after, means like if you are coming in a descending manner, S is the last one, and after that the goat, and after comes the dog, and after comes the cat. Okay. So let us say in place of this dog, if I have camel. In place of dog, if I have camel, and let's check. First initialize this. Now, what will be the answer, friends? In what way it will be arranged? Let's check. See, friends, we are going in a descending manner, right? So means the see here, even though we are having snake and cat, okay, so snake and goat. Okay, so first the last alphabet is S. Okay, so we are getting the snake S, and before that we are getting the goat. That is fine. But when we are comparing between the cat and the camel here, what is happening? So C is common for both. C is common for both. Okay, so this is, we cannot say anything and go with the second one. Cat, A is also common for both. But when it comes with the T, cat, and here we have M. So as per this, which one is a higher authority, means like higher priority here? So T. So T is the last one compared to the M. So that is why the priority is given to the cat here, and last comes the camel. Got it, friends? So this is how the sorting happens in the vectors. In similar lines, if I want to say decreasing is equal to false, that means it's quite obvious. Increasing is equal to true. It means it's going in a ascending order. Right, friends? Now let's check this out. So here, the first and the foremost, if you're trying with that, the camel will come first. It's quite obvious. And then comes the cat, then comes the goat, and then comes the snake. Because it's going in a ascending order. And if you want to see what is the sorting about and how it gets sorted, just run this. So you can see in the document that sort X decreasing is equal to false means it is going to go in a increasing order, that is in a ascending order. So friends, whenever you give a question mark along with the any keyword, if you have any doubt, yes, if you're facing any difficulty or if you have any doubt on that, just give a question mark along with that. So that is in the help, that is in this pane, in the help window, you can see the complete details about the question what you have asked. Now, friends, now let's deal with the matrix. Okay. So now let's see how the this data how the matrix will be arranged when we are in the data structures when we are programming it in R. Okay. Want to see if you want to have a look in help look in the matrix, we can see here. So matrix creates a matrix from the given set of values. As dot matrix attempts to turn it into arguments into a matrix, and is dot matrix test if the argument is strict a matrix or not. Okay. Now, friends, I have given here M. Okay, I'm taking it in terms of M and it has been matrix. And here we are defining this vector in terms of 1:9. And row is equal to 3 and by row in a tree means a true. Okay. Now, if you want any help, you can look here. So it is like by row means logical if false and the matrix is filled by the columns if it is filled by rows. Okay. So here T in the sense here we are going with the true. Okay. Now let's check what it does. So when I run this, so it's getting initialized, and when I say M, you can see the matrix right from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8 to 9 are getting arranged as per the order. Okay. And here the least number is arranged in the first row, first column. The last number is arranged in the third row, third column. Got it, friends? So that is what it means. And friends, here I'm not giving any value here and I'm asking it to for the 2. So what does this mean? This means I'm not giving any row number here. So first what we have to see is the row. And when I'm not mentioning any row means that's not going to consider any row. But the next thing is I'm giving the column name. So the column number. I have given the column number as 2. Okay. So when I execute this, you can see, okay, only the column number 2, which is holding the numbers as 2, 5, and 8 are getting executed. Got it, friends? And let us say in this place, if I say 1 and 2, now let's see what happens. So if I say 1 and 2, so a first row and the second means like first row and the second column here, you can see only this 2 will be executed. So that is what is giving us the answer. Okay, friends. And now, when we are like talking about, okay, so this is done. Now let's go by the matrix here. C is equal to A. We are given some numbers and n row is equal to 3 and columns is equal. We want in terms of 2 rows and 3 columns. And now let's check this, how this works out. Okay, we have initialized this. And when I run M, so here we can see, there are only 2 rows here, friends. So total number of rows here is 2. Okay, this complete set of values are being arranged in 2 rows and 3 columns. Okay, and by row is equal to true. That means we are going as per the row. We are going as per the row, friends. Okay. And now, and in this matrix, when I say 2, 4, 7, 3, 7, 9, and I'm giving n row is equal to 2, and when I'm trying to execute this, okay, and when I say M1, so what is happening here is, you can see that this 2, 4, 7 and 3, 7, 9. That means 2, 4, 7, 3 and 7, 9 are getting arranged as one, means like in terms of 1, 2, 1, 2 and 1, 2. Got it, friends? In similar lines, if I execute the same, if I execute this one, this matrix, it will also be arranged at 7, 1, 10, 6 and 5 minus 3. That's what? 7 and 1, 10 and 6 and 5 and minus 3. Got it, friends? And here, so friends, here we have seen about the vectors, what, and also like how we can like we can go with the vectors and how to manipulate the, means like how to go with the string manipulation using the vectors. And here we can go with the arithmetic operators using this matrices also if I want to add m1 and m2. Okay, and I'm asking it as m1, so that is going to give me the logically when I'm adding these two, so this will be the answer, friends. So likewise, you can check with M3 and M4 also. Okay, friends. So we can go with M1 minus M2. So when I'm running this and say M2, so that is going to like means like do the do the subtraction operation between M1 and M2. Okay. So we have M1 and M2 here like 7, 1. Okay, so 7 minus, if you're going with this, let me show you. Fine, friends, here we have 2 plus 7, it is 9. Okay, and 4 minus 4 plus 1, it is 5. So that is what we have got here. 2 plus 4, it is 5. Okay, let me show you so that there will not be any confusion. See here, what we are going to do is, why isn't this writing? So friends, I think my pen is not writing. So if you're going with 2 and 7, just add this 2 and 7. So that's going to give me the number as 9. So it's just a simple addition, friends. Okay. Same way, if we want to just subtract the two values here, just subtract the two values. So we will be getting the answer as minus 5 and all these things. Okay. And just go with, if you want to go with the multiplication, go with the multiplication of M1 and M2. So the answer will be 1470, 14, 4, 70, 18, 35 and 20, minus 27. Okay, friends, because in the last column we have this minus 3. That is the reason why we are getting the minus 27 here. So that is minus 3 into 9. So that is going to fetch me the answer as minus 27. In similar lines, you can go with the division also. Okay, friends. So till now, friends, we have seen about the vectors. And here we have also one more structure, data structure, based upon which we can go with the string manipulations. That is what we call it as list. And friends, you can ask me a question. Srilakshmi, what's the difference between the vectors and the list? So when you're talking about the list can hold different data types. But when you're talking about the vectors, it cannot hold different data types. Either you have to go with either with the characters or else the numeric values. But in the list, you can define any number. You can define numeric. You can define, you can go with any of this. What we say, that can be going with the numeric, and when you can go with a character, you can go with any complex numbers, whatever it is up to you. You can take any data type. Okay. So when you're talking about this list here, first let's initialize this. So list what we are given here is 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, and 4.5. So when I'm running this, yes, we have this list here. And when I say list 1, so this is how we are getting the list as. Okay, friends. So each and everything, yeah, we have the value here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So 5, 6, 7. The seventh one is counted as 4.5 and sixth one is counted as B. Okay, friends. So here we are taking with the L1 here. Okay. So 1 is counted as 1, 2 is counted as 2, and 3 is counted as 3, 4 is 4, 5, we give the number. Okay, why it is not writing around? Yes, now it's writing. So when you're talking about like this, so here we can take it as 1. 1 is taken as 1, 2 is taken as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is how this has been indexed. Okay. So if we want to go as per the indexes here, you can see. So this is how it is getting indexed. Okay. And similar lines, just initialize this L2 also the list 2. Okay. And now, so in similar lines, the number 6 will be counted for the 4.5. Okay. And friends, this entire thing will be counted as 5. Got it, friends? And now let's go with the indexing. Now let's check the indexing. If I want I'm giving the L1 and inside the square brackets, I'm giving it as 5. Okay. And I'm wanting this to execute. So it's quite obvious. The number 5 from this is A. Okay. From the list 1, the 5 is A. You all know that. Okay. And similar lines, I'm going with L2 and I want to execute it, the number as 5. So what will be the number 5? It is this one. 1, 2, 3 will be executed because the entire thing which we have taken it as a vector. And friends, we can, I forgot to tell you one thing, we can insert vectors also inside the list. Okay, so list is kind of a data structure which can hold different data types and it can also hold a vector inside that. You can see the C of 1, 2, 3. This is a vector. Got it, friends? So now if you're going as per the indexing here, this is counted as 1, 2, 3, 4, and this entire thing is counted as 5, and 4.5 is counted as 6. Got it, friends? And now when I'm executing L2 of 1, so it's quite obvious it's going to give me the answer as 1. Okay. In similar lines, now I'm going to combine the L1 and L2. So here I'm saying C of L1 comma L2. So now let's check what happens. So what will be the values that can be assigned to L3 here? Okay. So now L3 will be holding the complete L1 list and also the L2 list. Okay. The list 1 and list 2 will be counted in the complete this one. Now, friends, I can unlist this. See, till now, like I can change this list into a vector. So how is that possible? If I want to change this list into a vector, I have to write in terms of unlist. Have to write this in terms of unlist. So when I say unlist and when I execute this, what happens is, so I'm saying unlist L2. Okay. And yes, so when I say unlist L2, and when I say V1, and execute this. So we can see the complete, like it will be unlisted. Okay, so now complete thing will be counted as a vector, right from 1 till 4.5. Now this entire thing will be counted as a vector v1. Got it, friends? And now it's taking it as a vector only. Now, so here we have A1, we have A, B, C, D, and A2, we have 1, 2, 3. And if I want to list all A1 and A2, means this is going to combine both these things. Okay, now let's check A1 and A2. And when I say L4 is equal to list A1 and A2, so that is going to print the complete list. Okay. If I say print L4, so that's going to take the complete list of A, B, C, D, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, friends, okay. So till now we have seen about these vectors and list. So these vectors, I mean, like on these vectors, we can go with the logical operations also. So friends, what do you mean by logical operations? Apart from this true and false, we have some logical operations like or and and. Okay. So what do you mean by or? So or operation means, friends, let us say we have two different values here. Okay. Let us say the people from here are studying in maths department and here they are studying in physics department. Okay. And let us say the total strength of the class is 100. And here, the people who are studying maths, let us say 70 who are good at maths and 50 who are good at physics. And this part, we call it as intersection. So this part is going to hold the people who are good in both maths and physics. Okay. But if you see the numbers here, it is 70 and 50, but the total count is 100. So it is exceeding, isn't it? So when you add 70 plus 50 means we are getting it as 120. It is exceeding the 100. Means there is some extra numbers here. So when you're subtracting this 100 with 120, so the 20 number what we get here, it is kind of an intersection. That means the 20 people who are present here are present in both maths and physics in the intersection. The 20 people are excel, means they are good at both maths and physics. This is what we call it as intersection. Okay, so we can represent it with the and. And coming to or, so or is the one, the complete union of both A and B. That is that will be considered as or. Okay. In another case, let me tell, if you're talking about and or cases, so and means, let us say if you're taking X and Y conditions. When both the conditions are true only, the output will be true. If any of the condition is false, the output will be false. So that is in case of AND. But when you're talking about the OR case, when you're taking about X and Y, input as 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. Except the first case, either of the one is true, the output will be true. That is 1, 1, 1. Got it, friends? So this is how we have the logical AND operation and logical OR operation. Now let me erase this. And friends, here we have, like we have given A is equal to 5 to 8 and B is equal to 2, 3 and 10. Okay, friends? And friends, this is a vector. Both A and B are vectors. Okay. And in vectors, we can go with the relational operators also. We can apply relational operators on the vectors also. Okay. So when I say I'm checking whether A is greater than B, and when I click on run, it says true, false, and false. So how it is saying true, false, and false? Now we can see here 5 and 2. Okay. So 5, 2, 8, 2, 3, and 10. So here we are given a condition whether A is greater than B. This is A and this is B. So in the first case, it is true because 5 is greater than 2. But in the second case, is 2 greater than 3? No. So the answer is false. in the third case, 8 is greater than 10? No. So that is the reason why the answer is false. So likewise, we can implement the either it can be a relational operator, it can be a logical operators or any arithmetic operators on these vectors also. So we have, in the first case, we have seen the, we have gone with the arithmetic operators, fine friends. And in this case, we can see that we can apply the logical operators also. That is relational operators. That is means that is greater than or lesser than. Okay, friends. In similar lines, we can apply the and or operations. Okay. So when we are giving it as friends, I forgot to tell you, we are circulating the attendance sheet. Please fill up the attendance sheet. Okay. We have already circulated the attendance sheet, friends. Fill it up and submit it back. It has already been circulated in the chat box. Please fill up the attendance sheet. And friends, here I'm giving it as A is greater than 1 and B is greater than 2. So we have to check with the conditions, and when the condition is true only, we'll be getting the answer. Okay. Now let's check this condition and check. It is false, true and true. So how is it possible? Let me take my pen and see. So friends, here we have A as 5, 2 and 8. Okay. Now we are comparing this A is greater than 1 or not. So 5 is greater than 1. Okay, fine. It is true. But check with the condition of B is greater than 2. So what is the value of B here? We have 2, 3 and 10. Okay. So we have given it as just when it is greater than here, 2 is greater than this one or not. Okay. So B is greater than 2 or not. So this is true, but this is false. So 1 is true and 1 is false. So this is not possible. So the output is false here. And check with the second case. And here what we are doing is 2 greater than 1. Okay. Is 2 greater than 1? Yes, it is true. And here we are checking, is 3 greater than 2? Yes, here also we are getting the true condition. So it is this one condition is true and this condition is true. So that is the reason why I'm getting the output as true. And the last condition, whether A is greater than 1, that's what we are checking here, friends. This is a logical AND operator. A is greater than 1. Yes, it is true. And here 10 is greater than 2. That is a B operator. Yes, it is true. So this condition is true and this condition is true. So when both the conditions are combined together, that is the intersection. So that is the reason why we are getting the answer as 2. Got it, friends? So this is how we can apply the logical operators like AND operators and OR operators on these vectors. So friends, so that's all for today. So that's what I wanted to say. And we'll come up with a new, we'll be discussing about the different functions in R what we'll be using in tomorrow's class. So that's all for today, friends. Have a great evening and enjoy your. Just go through this. Let's go to the first video, second video, and today's video so that you can get some clarity. And tomorrow we'll be discussing about the different condition statements what we have in R programming. Okay, friends. So that's all for today. Have a great evening. Bye.